We continue with the recap of the Trialeti Trophy. This portion is the dance and the women. Oh Lord, dance, and all this political BS. The top six at dance were Selena Fragi and Jean Han Fournier. And fifth place was Utana Yoshida and Masaya Morita. And fourth place was Phoebe Becker and James Hernandez. And third place was Lucia de Margat and Theo Lemercier. And second place was Holly Harris and Jason Chan. And in first place was Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin. Oh my God, the scoreflation for Diana and Gleb Smokin. We all know that there is the 10-point E30 bonus, but at this event, even the 10-point E30 bonus was put to shame. 23-point difference between Diana, Gleb, and Holly and Jason? Where? How? Anyhow, anyhow, let's get into the skating and forget the cooking of the scores that happened at this trophy. Honestly, if I was an ice dance pair or a federation, I would have been like, thank you for the invitation, Georgia, but I think I'll pass. I don't need to be here for you to cook the book in Diana and Gleb's favor to the extent that you cooked it. I was expecting them to win, and I was expecting the scores to be cooked. I just didn't think the Georgian had this level of audacity. This is beyond what Russia has ever even contemplated doing. Oh, Mother Russia must be so proud. The babies have learned and surpassed. But anyhow, so Selena and Jean Hans, the rhythm dance, as you guys know, I hate the rhythm dance completely this season to a level that is beyond all rationality. And then Gleb Smokin made a comment about how much he hates the rhythm dance this season too, and talking about how he's very traditional and how he wanted to do like a waltz or a ballroom or samba. And I was like, oh my God, do I have to like Diana and Gleb now? Do I have to be a little nicer to them? So this is why I am not gonna harp on the scores for them so bad, because Gleb and I are on the same wavelength. We're vibing in terms of the rhythm dance. And as you guys know, I am fickle and I am shallow. If you guys didn't know that, I am fickle and I am shallow. So the fact that me and Gleb are having a moment, I'm gonna have to go a little easier on Diana and Gleb. I'm sorry, guys. That's how shallow I am. Um, but back to Selena and Jean Hans. They have a very atypical rhythm dance. It is what it is. Their free dance, I feel like it's sort of like their transitional program where they still have some juniorish elements, but at the same time, they're transitioning into their senior stage. So I think it's probably going to take them a couple of seasons to fully let go of all of their junior tendencies and to fully embody um, their where they are as a senior. I do like the skating basic skill that is coming from this new generation of French skaters. I do think they're paying a lot of attention to their basic edge work that I really like. I do feel like this young pair has a lot of room to grow, especially in terms of their speed and ice coverage. But in terms of their edge control, I think, they're coming from a very good school of teaching that basic that I really, really like. And then Utana and Messiah, I have one of the few rhythm dance that I really do enjoy, and I think I enjoy it because they enjoy it so much. They have so much energy which they put into this rhythm dance, and it makes it really fun. They're doing, a war horse for their free dance. I feel like when they were competing at the qualifier, the free was a little more polished. It was, I guess they were fighting for something. So it was a little more polished. They delivered it a little more. They seemed a little more tired at this event, and it felt a little more sloppy and a little more off. But again, the season is long, and I'm expecting ups and downs for all of these skaters. I feel like the main point is not to start the season off with a bang and then fizzle at the end. It's to pace yourself for the marathon. Phoebe and James went full British for their rhythm dance, much like Lila and Lewis, and I love it. I love the fact that the Brit pairs are like, we're going full British. We are feeling ourselves and our Britishness, and we're gonna give it to you. I do like that a lot. They are doing a Romeo and Juliet free program, again, very, very much in line with the Warhorse theme. But Romeo and Juliet is such a go-getter in terms of ice dance. And there are definitely moments in their Romeo and Juliet that I like. They have some interesting lifts. They have some interesting glide. And I am really looking forward to this pair only because I feel like they connect well with each other. They seem to enjoy skating with each other. There's a pleasant air about them on the ice and off the ice. So I really like to see how that grows. Lucia and Theo, again, I like how French they are, how interesting they are, how uniquely their program are. Both the rhythm and the free, I feel like is something that probably speaks to them aesthetically. And as someone who likes to see different types of programs in figure skating, especially in ice dance, I really like how unique they are choosing to be in their skating. There's, I feel like there's a little bit of an awkwardness to the program, to both of their programs that they haven't quite worked out yet as the season is progressing. But I feel like this was a really good outing for them here. They finished on the podium in third place, and they was in second place in the rhythm dance. Unfortunately, they probably will not be going to the Olympic because France only has 2 spots, and those 2 spots are already more or less spoken for, but you never know. And this is probably a pair that's gonna probably be in the conversation for the next cycle, for the next 4 years leading to the next Olympic. Holly and Jason. When I saw that rhythm dance score, I literally had to go to the protocol to see exactly what happened because let me be honest, I'm not a technical specialist in any of these disciplines, and least of all in ice dance. And they lost 2 levels um, in 2 different elements, and that is why their scores were so low. And I was like, wow, wow. I would not have caught that, but I guess that's why I'm not a judge or a technical specialist. But I love the fact that they didn't let that bother them. They were in fourth place after the rhythm dance. They composed themselves. They came back. And again, they do have one of the rhythm dance where musically it it makes sense. The pieces sort of blend together. It doesn't bother my ears as much. Holly looks fabulous. So does Jason. So musically, their rhythm dance is not a bother for me. I really do like their free dance. It's a held over program, which is okay because last season I feel like they were testing the program, and this season they're fully growing into the program. They have some really beautiful lifts, and some of their lifts just look effortless. They have really nice line, especially Jason. Sometimes he holds a position and the position is really nice. They do still need to work on their edges. They need to work on being a little faster, doing a little more ice coverage. But this is definitely a pair that is growing. Again, another pair that I'm looking forward to in the next, in the next quad. And then the winners here who are Diana and Gleb. Gleb and I are vibing. So because of that, I will say their rhythm dance is right there with the rest of it. Right there with the rest of it. The free dance, I feel like it suits them because it helps highlights their strength while at the same time hides some of their shortcoming. The reality of it is Diana does a lot of 2 feet skating. She's always right on top of her blade. She doesn't have a lot of depth of edge, but she does have lovely position. She is very balletic. She is very flexible. So she does have lovely position. And I do feel like this kind of program allows you to see those lovely positions. I'm very grateful that they don't have those awkward pretzel knee bending lifts that they had last season. The lifts they have this season goes better with the program. They're a lot prettier, they're a lot nicer. So all in all, overall, um, even though the scores make me laugh hysterically, all in all, I will leave Diana and Gleb alone because Gleb and I are vibing on the same ideology right now. And then for the women were really, really interesting here. Some interesting situation. So the top 12 here start Andrew in 12th place, Stefania Yakovleva in 11th place, Ava Marie Ziegler in 10th place, Lena Sider in 9th place, Lida Kahaman in 8th place, Renka Watanabe in 7th place, Sooyoung Kim in 6th place, Ah Soon Yoon in 5th place, Anna Pazita in 4th place. Hyen Lee made up the bronze medal on the podium. Maria Sanuk was the silver medalist, 2nd place. And then Anastasia Gabanova was the winner here with the gold in 1st place. Star Andrew, with that short program, really is doing something. That short program with that triple toe, she really looks really good in the short program. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the stamina for a long program, and that has been a long-standing situation with her. Her jumps are incredibly under-rotated. So while she can definitely get away with it in a short program, it's a lot harder to manage in a long program. So as a result, we definitely saw the struggle in the long program. So she went from 4th place in the short to 15th place in the long program and then 12th place overall. And then Stefania, there is some jump potential there. There is definitely some jump potential there. So I want to definitely keep my eyes on Stefania and the jump development that might go there. Ava Marie coming back from injury, struggled in the short program, came back like a fighter in that free program. It's a lovely lyrical free program. Definitely new for her. She's definitely, showing growth and depth. And I'm wondering, this is her 2nd competition. She's already improved from the last outing. Should I have Ava Marie as a dark, all the way in the back horse? I don't want to count her out completely. And then, Rinka Watanabe, I love the fight and the spirit. I love the fact that she is going for that triple axel. But I'm wondering if because she's going for the triple axel, it's throwing off the timing of the rest of her jumps. And she is taking some falls. You know how I talked about the last video, those pretty falls and those splat all over the ice fall? Rinka, unfortunately, is not a pretty faller. She falls black on the ice, and my entire body hurts for her once she falls on the ice. But this is what I'm thinking. If Rinka and her team are not really planning for this Olympic cycle, but they're planning for maybe the next 4 years, because as we know, two of the top skaters in Japanese women's field are planning to retire after the Olympic. I don't want to cry, but we are going to lose Kaori and we are going to lose Wakaba after the Olympics. So I'm wondering if Rinka and her team are like, let us put this triple axel at every competition. Let's get used to competing it under pressure on competitive ice so that next season and for the next 4 years, this will become an automatic part of our skating repertoire. Rinka will now have these elements down. And then that next 4 years will be when the payoff will come. So I wonder if they're using this season as just sort of, let's get our body used to it so that we can get the payoff moving forward. Because I don't understand taking the risk of the triple axel in combination as well as the triple axel by itself doing an Olympic cycle, unless this is just, let's get it there. Um, the South Korean women, both Yoon and Kim, I wonder what is going on in South Korea, because I feel like they have incredibly talented skaters who are not fully being packaged well. There is a lack of individuality in some of the South Korean skaters. They do tend to have this mold of skating that they stay in, and I do feel like both Asun and Siyong fall into that category. And also their jump technique. I do feel like South Korea needs to find some really good jump specialists to really try to work on not only the jump technique but also the jump consistency, because I feel like the South Korean women really could be in the conversation for medals at almost every competition they enter into if they could just get a little more consistency in terms of their jump. And then we get to another skater that I desperately want to have jump consistency, which is Anna Pizzetta. Oh my God, the drooliness of her jumps, the girthiness of her jumps. And as the season progressed, you can definitely see the control that is being gained over the jumps. Also, I like both of her programs for her. She's a powerful, fiery skater, and they've given her powerful, fiery program. Yes, these are not new. These are not creative programs. These are not out of the box program, but they are programs that I do believe suits her well. If she could get consistency in the jumps, oh my goodness, I'd be willing to give Anna all the medals. Hyen Lee here in third place really is making a, she's really making a place for her, definitely to get one of those two spots for the South Korean women, but really for the international judges to really start saying she's back in the conversation. Unfortunately, the tech caller is not a Hyen Lee fan, because she got more calls than I think any other skater at this competition. Almost every jump got a Q or an under listen, the tech color was on Sabrina Espresso when it came to Hyenli. Now, I had said the short program is really suited for her. It's really lovely. She's got that. I had said at her last competition that I wasn't fully convinced by that comment. I think somebody told Hyen about it. Or I think maybe Hyen listened to my video. I doubt she listened to my video. But I think someone told her about it and she was like, oh, you're not feeling my comment? Hold on. Because at this competition, I feel like she understands the assignment a little more. I feel like she embodies the music a little more. She embodies the character a little more. There was more in her face. There was more in her arm movement. There was more full body movement. If she can continue progressing with fully embodying the characters while at the same time working on the rotation of her jumps, we may get to see silver world medal level high-end back, skating from where she was from that level. In second place, Maria Sanuk. I felt like the judges were very nice in terms of not calling some of her under rotation jumps, but overall, I do like her long program. I do like her long program. I think it's very suited, very fiery, very red, and she seems like a very fiery, very red skater. But I do think the espresso tech collar for high end was on some night quill for Maria, and yeah, she was very well rewarded at this event. And then our winner here again, those scores have me side eyeing, but it's okay. Was Anastasia Gabanova. Yes, this was a well deserved win. She put quite a fight. The the short program, the Bollywood, she is really giving you hand gesture, correct posture of the hand gesture. Her face is more alive in that program. And I do like how it contrasts to the long program, which is quite soft, which is quite lovely. And even the outfits sort of contrast. You have the fiery red overly embellished, bejeweled short program dance, and then you just have this lovely, effortless long program, the off-white with the beautiful detail black, string in the back. So not only do the program themselves contrast, but the packaging contrast. I feel like her team really put a lot of thought, a lot of effort into her packaging, into the program selection this season, showing both her harder, more fast paced as well as her softer, you know, side. And I really like that. I like to see that in skating. All in all, you guys know I have a soft spot for Anastasia. I really want her to be able to do well this season, and seeing her doing so well so far this season, I'm very, very happy for her. So this was my recap and my take on the Trialeti Trophy, aka the Georgian did it better than even the Russians have in terms of rigging. This was a lot of fun to watch, and I do think eventually South Korea gets a cup and they follow suit because, oh, this was so this was a hot mess, but it was a fun hot mess. But anyhow, this was my take on the competition. I would love to hear what was your take on the competition. Did you think this was a fairly judged competition, or did you think the Georgians learn very well from Russia and are continuing the legacy? Let me know in the comments.